Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. The National Prosecuting Authority has dropped criminal charges against Carlos Bonifacio, former chief accountant of the now-defunct Bosasa. He was arrested in February of 2019, along with former Bosasa COO turned State Capture Commission whistleblower Angelo Agrizzi on charges of corruption and money laundering. For more on this, I'm joined by Sindisiwe Seboka, spokesperson of the Independent Directorate. Very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. Just a month ago, it was reported that the investigating directorate had claimed that the case against Carlos Bonifacio and his former co-accused was progressing well. What changed?
So I'd like to clarify first. I think there's been a misunderstanding in terms of which case Bonifacio was actually charged in. So there were two cases that were quite linked or were heard one after the other. Bonifacio was charged with Mr. Franz Foster. His co-accused passed away, unfortunately, on the 26th of June in 2021. They were charged in terms of Mr. Bonifacio and Franz Foster working in cahoots to get about 180,000 from one department, Bosasa, to pay for the car of a high-profile person within the department in which they were trying to get tenders for. So that's a separate matter, the 180,000 rand matter. The main matter in which I think everybody has it mixed up with is the 1.8 billion rand matter, where Mr. Angelo Agrizzi, Lindam T, former correctional services boss, and various others, Patrick Gillingham and Andres Van Donat, are still currently being charged. And that case is progressing quite well. We're still confident about it. It's actually in the High Court now. It's been transferred from the Specialized Crimes Court in Pretoria to the High Court. Bonifacio's matter is a separate, smaller matter, and he was the only accused in that matter after the passing of his co-accused, Franz Foster. Okay,
so he was then arrested in 2019, along with former Bosasa CEO Angelo Agrizzi and others. And so you're saying that he was charged based on Agrizzi's testimony to the Commission of Inquiry into State Capture?
Not even. So he was arrested based on evidence, a docket that was opened firstly, and then evidence that was then built about his case. Mr. Angelo Agrizzi testified on other matters and the arrest, and then being arrested, and the talk around what transpired was after, in terms of another matter, not the matter in which he was actually in court for. So there's been that misunderstanding. It's 180,000 rand purchase of a Mercedes-Benz for Mr. Patrick Gillingham from Bosasa, which he was a co-accused for being somebody who aided in making sure that the payment was done, but not necessarily that it's the main 1.8 billion rand matter, where there are 4 contracts that were given to Bosasa or awarded to Bosasa for various services like fencing, DSTV subscriptions, and catering and the likes, for which came about through underhanded deals that we're alleging before court in our papers. So it's 2 separate matters, and the reason that we've actually decided to withdraw those charges is because after his co-accused passed away, there was not much of a case left. After he made the representations, after he made representations, the team assessed the case at hand and decided that it's something that we need to relook, and a decision was taken to withdraw the charges on the 14th of June.
So what were some of the loopholes that you found before you made this decision? So
obviously, we looked at the fact that his co-accused had passed away, and his co-accused had also made specific statements. He also had his role in the entire scheme. The money we found was actually a loan and not necessarily some form of gratification that took place. So those are some of the things that we considered and found that after a presentation was made, it's best that we withdraw this case. However, it now opens up various other avenues that we obviously can't disclose until the time is right.
So will the NPA then use him as a state witness in the trial against other people linked to Bosasa's dealings?
That is something that we can consider. However, we cannot say until we get to that stage.
Very well. Let's leave it there for now, and thank you for your time and that explanation. As you know, the separation of the 2 matters is important to clarify. Sindisiwe Seboka, spokesperson of the Independent Directorate, speaking to us there. Now, look.